Okay.
This one doesn't need it. It has ropes.
Okay. You're good to go.
And thanks for sending August over.
Sure. He's taller than me too.
Yeah.
I was a little late though, and I saw him standing there. I'm like, oh, thank you, Jane, for sending someone.
Hi, Miss Guy.
Okay.
Your husband's too. Yeah.
Okay, we are live.
Okay. Miss Trace is just coming back. Flash it at the police when you get pulled over. I'm a PTA member. Is that fun? I think it's not supposed to. We had a lot of fun with the liquid nitrogen. And so each class is a little bit different, and it was kind of fun. Yeah. Really.
My wife already decided that Friday's a day off. Friday's a day off, so my kids are already like, yeah, it's a short week, so it could be that.
Do you want one?
Oh, I have one. Thank you.
The great thing about not telling anybody their surprises is we bring them whenever they show up. Yeah. Okay. If they're not here, they're getting today. It is what it is.
And they forget too. Oh yeah, Orion said something horrible. He said, "I'm a 6th grader. I'm not getting the new playground, so I don't want to run." I'm like, no, don't be like that. Stop it. Then all right, Duggan's like, but I'm going to be up there next year.
Okay, are we ready? Okay, so it's 12:18. So the meeting will come to order, and I've got it streaming. So okay, so reports of officers. So we've got Kristen to do the treasurer's report. Sorry.
So instead of copying a budget that nobody can read, I decided to do it on the screen, which it seems like nobody can do that either.
Where am I from?
Oh, can we do that?
Yeah, the lights are. So right now we're about $3,000 for the fund run, which is actually not too bad for 1 week of fundraising. I expect a lot more to happen this week and next week. We'll have another PTA meeting next week, right, Jane?
Right on Wednesday.
Okay, so then we'll be able to see whether or not we have to freak out and panic at that point in time. As far as the cost, so far for fund run expenses, we spent about $500, and for carnival, we've spent about $695. So we're well within budget. And as far as our budget, because in the past it hasn't always been. The teacher breakfast, the teacher meet and greet and the family breakfast, we spent a little bit more than we had budgeted, but it was awesome because we had more people than we ever anticipated. So with that, next year maybe we'll try to increase the budget for the family breakfast so that way we can accommodate people, but then no one will show up. So
Positive thinking.
yeah. And beyond that, we've been buying the birthday cards for the teacher appreciation. The educational grants, we already paid out the 5th grade grant and the 1st grade grant for the owl pellets. And that's where we're at. And we already spent the money for the Battle of the Books for Mrs. Breton. Hello.
Can I say something about the birthday things? What you're doing this year is awesome.
Okay.
So great.
Okay.
The check.
You like the chamber checks?
Oh, it's so cool.
Okay.
Yeah, you can go anywhere in town.
Yeah.
Sometimes the Ruby Q ones, it didn't work 2 years in a row for me. And so check card and cash, so it was great.
Oh, yeah. Oh, good. I'm glad. Well, the idea behind that was that one of the things we learned at the PTA conference is we're not supposed to single out one vendor. If we have the opportunity to give the business to all of the vendors, then that's how we're supposed to pursue.
It was really neat.
Good. I'm glad it worked out. Yay. So positive feedback on that respect. I'm trying to think. Anybody have any thoughts about the budget? Two things that came up are what we did not do this year, what I did not pass during the September budget was Tony said that they're not going to go snowshoeing, that they're going to go skiing instead. So we have to amend this to be, I think it's $1,000 is what he wants for kids who may not be allowed to, who may not be able to afford skiing. Does that sound about right, or does that sound too generous?
So I think that they've skied the years past, but we didn't get snow.
Right.
And so they switched.
So he said that they think they're going to ski this year.
No, I think that amount's good.
Okay, just leave them out there? Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, the idea is I think maybe we should just say 5th grade snow activity,
Yeah, right.
because last year it was supposed to be skiing and it became snowshoeing.
Right.
And the year before the kids got to go 1 time skiing, and then the year prior they got to go 4 times skiing. And these are elements that we cannot control. So
Yeah, right.
vocabulary, we just say winter activity.
And the reason I'm kind of hesitating because I'm kind of processing, because, you know, the one thing that we haven't done is they haven't gone skiing with the new owners. And so I'm not sure how that's going to impact.
Okay. Right.
So I'm not sure
How that's
how
going
that's
to
going
work
to impact.
out. Okay, well, we'll leave for right now. I'll just change the wording to 5th grade skiing and leave the amount the same until.
Well, maybe you don't want to change it to skiing is what I'm saying, winter
that's
sport.
fine.
Yeah, so then you could not have to change it every time.
Right.
That makes
To
sense?
me, the wording is it's the money that I'm worried about. So as long as. we get the money
525,
right.
yeah, because the kids last year, the previous years had paid some too.
They do. This is for the kids who can't.
Right.
So that's what that's for. Okay, so that, if everyone's okay with that, I guess can I get a motion?
Do you need a motion? Because you're not really changing the
I'm
amount.
changing the name.
I don't.
Thank you, Gwendolyn. Necessary.
I don't think it's necessary, it's just a name.
Okay. And then the other thing that Jen Schmier had approached us with is the anti-bullying campaign that she does in October. We have supported that as an educational grant in the past, but I would like to make that a line item because that really does fit with what PTA is all about. And last year it came in below $500.
It did. Jen and Hannah thought about that because she also does the kindness
Rocks,
thing. And so we thought if you could just make it like a counselor program line item.
Okay.
Then she could balance still the same money amount.
Okay, so still
So
$500.
$500, but that way if she, she can balance it
Between the two?
programs.
Okay, so
And we'll supplement the building.
okay. So what's being proposed is that instead of a line item for the bullying campaign, it's going to be a counselor's programs.
Yeah.
Council
That's-
school-wide program.
Yeah,
That's
counselor's
a
school.
that's a new line item.
That'll be a new line item.
So that's a motion that we would need to add
So,
on.
and it is, and what I'm suggesting is out of the general grants category, take $500 off. So this would now be $2,000 and her budget would be $500 for those two campaigns. Is that reasonable or?
So therefore,
Yeah.
she doesn't need to come and improve, and it's not a general grab with the application. We have a line item.
Right.
She can use it for any of the
You
school-wide
want to do
campaigns.
this next year, or you want
I
to
wanna
change
do-
it now?
Let's change it now so that, because
Okay.
the money hasn't.
So
well,
Kara's
we have
gonna
to
write the
raise money
motion.
first.
Okay, wait, yeah, I need to hear
Okay,
like what the actual.
So I move then that we move $500 from the general grants line item to a line item for counselor programs for mountain school.
And I second the motion.
Thank you.
And then you say all in favor.
All in favor?
I'm just glad I understood them.
Yeah.
Any,
Any opposed?
any opposed? There you go.
Okay.
Okay.
Alright.
Good.
So then
Yeah.
that
Thanks for the
concludes the treasurer's report.
Okay,
There's nothing else?
So do we need to accept the treasure report? I always,
Yeah.
I
No, we're
don't think
good.
so.
okay, great.
Okay, so the president's report, just right now, I'll say that I wanted to remind people, maybe not today, but sometimes, last time we had people who were not members. And I want to make it clear that if you're not a member, you can't vote or make a motion or anything like that. Okay? I think the rest I'll just do under Carnival. So membership report.
Okay, so for September, we had 16 memberships. And then in October, so far, we've had 1 membership added. So total, we're at 87 memberships for the year. So so that's 1 more than we had all year last year.
Yeah.
Right? So.
you want to mention about the cards?
Oh, and I'm trying to get you guys cards right now. This year they're printing it out with your name on it, so I need to give you your specific one. And if the people aren't here at the meeting, they'll be going home with teachers or with students. So teachers will have them in their box for parents.
Okay. Okay, principal's report.
So I sent last night, over the weekend.
Yeah, I got the email,
Okay,
so.
good. So I sent those. The other thing you guys should be aware of, they're starting our construction on our windows.
Yay.
They were supposed to start on Friday. They actually showed up to start today. So, they're gonna do the main office. We don't have students Friday or Monday. And so the district has agreed to pay the contractors to work Saturday and Sunday as well. So our goal is to have the main office and the nurse's office complete over this 4-day weekend. And then they'll work their way through the remaining parts of the building they're gonna do. But it does involve asbestos abatement, but it is type 2 non-friable asbestos. They have confirmed that. They've opened up one of the windows. And we won't have any students in that area. So it should have minimal impact to our instructional day, I think. So, other than that, does anybody have any questions?
I have a question. Will it be completed by the time of the carnival?
It probably won't. Well, I don't know. So the reality is they were supposed to start we did just keep the carnival in mind, and the areas of the school that they're doing, you never use for the carnival. So other than the main office, which we think the main office should be complete by next Monday, because you guys typically count tickets and things like that in the main office. Other than the main office, there shouldn't be any areas of the school that you use anyway. Because the areas of the school they're doing are, like right now, where our speech and language, our special education teachers are, that kind of, that back area. And they'll be coming in through the back walls of the school. So all of their construction equipment, everything will be on that back side.
Okay.
And so I don't think it'll impede or interfere with carnival at all.
What about the staff lounge? No.
The staff lounge they will be doing. I hope they left this morning without giving me a room by room date.
Okay.
I assume that means they are coming back, because at 7 this morning when I met with them, they told me they'd get that to me today. So they did just disappear and kind of left, but I think they're coming back. So I'm not sure where we'll be out with the lounge. I did see that you guys want to have snack cooking, which is, I think, is a great idea. We may potentially need to move that to, but we can relocate that.
Yeah, that's okay.
Tickets, you don't have tickets and prizes in the office, then we could do snacks.
Oh, that's true. Yeah.
Yeah, or we could do snacks in my office or in Jim's office. I mean, we can find a place.
Okay.
So I think we'll be okay.
Okay, great. Okay. Okay, so we'll move on to reports of the committees. I wondered if you guys wanted to say anything about the family breakfast to let people know how that went.
Sure. Luann, do you want to do that?
Well, I don't have any history, so I wasn't, I mean, it was a huge turnout, so people tell me it hadn't been like that before. We didn't have too much left over, and we could have used more fruit for sure. That tends to be the expensive item on the list, and we had already gone beyond our budget with just pastries and from what I saw, coffee, there wasn't coffee left over. I could have bought less creamer because some of that came from UK's with the coffee. The bagels were a hit, but that was a little, I don't know, whoever picked them up that morning, some of them weren't cut. And I mean, people loved it. if that many people are gonna come, we need to buy a little more. I don't know.
So some of the things I thought of were before it's been on a Monday morning and this time it was on a Friday morning. And so that really affects how many people are going to come. And there was something else that made me think that probably more people came. Oh, that it was the beginning of the year than the end of the year.
Yeah.
So there wasn't as much
As much other stuff
going on yet.
I think that Friday one is probably your key. Still, every BK's, or was this morning, coffee thing in the lounge that probably needs returned. And I think that those little baskets come from them, so that probably needs returned. It's
Okay.
in the teacher's lounge in 2 little baskets.
Okay. Jen probably just forgot at the end.
Okay, I can take those on my way over to cash my check.
I like, I think having it at the beginning of the year is good because it helps build that community right from the get-go instead of waiting later on, so, yeah. And the kids, my kids who went loved it, and the families who were there seemed to really be having a good time, so.
I got lots of email questions. I guess in some years past, you guys have had them bring dishes to share. And so there was some confusion about if they were bringing things to share, and I wasn't really quite sure.
Yeah.
Well, we did say that in the material that they could if they want to, but they didn't have to. So
In years
Yeah.
past, there haven't been a lot of people that brought stuff, but if people want to bring stuff, I think that that's fine.
Well, if people brought things, see, I don't know anymore if people are allowed to bring food to school, and we said it's a 4-day function, so maybe that sort of makes it a little easier. But it would help if people brought things, and the more people who come, the more food there is, rather than depending on everything. Like maybe we could buy more staples and ask people to bring a dish to share, or, you know.
Do we have to be careful on that with
I
the
do not know.
food? I would
We
think,
do, and I don't know really if we can
I don't know that
do
you can
that
ask.
anymore.
Yeah.
It
So,
was
but I
kind of
will
a gray area, so
Yeah, it is kind
that's
of
why
a-
we just didn't push it this year, and not a lot of people really seem that interested, so I'm surprised, like, then they were.
Yeah, it is kind of a gray area because it's before school, but I'm not sure that even at any of your functions, we could do, say, a potluck type thing anymore with, as long as we're feeding students. And so I'll check on that though for next year, that's certainly something to look at. But they can bring like prepackaged sealed things. So
You would have to just.
if it was,
specify that.
yeah, so if it was something, oh, sure. So if it was
Not
something that was
homemade,
picking up,
or fruit, or fruit.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
true.
And that's a big one, I mean,
Yeah.
Yeah, storage of this stuff ahead of time, you know, you really gotta time the shopping, like the night can be challenging for some of us, so I didn't know how much storage was available here, but maybe if a couple people do it, like I have 2 refrigerators, and so I did what I could, with what I had, and then I made a second trip Thursday night for really fresh things, and of course, like the strawberries weren't there. I tried to get bananas from Sam's, and they were all super green. So stuff like that you just.
We do have storage, if it comes in after lunchtime, we can use those fridges that are in there.
we can't use
Or
those
we
anymore.
can't, we can't use them.
So
Okay,
unfortunately, now that's part of the food service contract,
And,
but we'll
you
have
know-
to look at that.
PTA bought some of that equipment in there.
So,
So we need to make sure, because you can't just say, no, we can't use it, because they bought it.
so the regular refrigerators, I don't know, we need to talk about that sometime, because I'm a little bit confused, because
The heater we
YMCA is
bought.
using the regular refrigerator. The food service is using the stainless steel big one. I don't know which one PTA bought.
I don't know, if it'll be up at the records in there, we can look it up.
So I would suspect that PTA probably bought the regular fridge.
I think they bought the warmer and the stainless steel one,
And so, yeah.
So
So
I
I'm
don't
not
know
sure, we
for
need to
sure.
check on that.
because that was before I was.
Yeah.
But, yeah,
Because they're preparing so much fresh on site now, that
Yeah.
they do keep those pretty full. And so, I don't know, we'll have to check on that. Yeah, I'm not sure if that's part of it. So, and that is one of the things that we put on our referendum requests for future is to redo the serving area for the whole kitchen, so that we get a better service lunch especially. So I'll check on that. But yeah, if you guys have records on that.
And I would say for the breakfast, I wouldn't make it a requirement for people to bring things, just because you don't want to scare off the people who want to come and say, oh, but I can't, morning, it's a hard time for people to.
Yeah.
But, so I would probably keep it optional.
I loved that we had such a great turnout. That's awesome.
It was
Everybody's
fun, it was
happy.
very
And
festive.
thank you for coming up so early, Mrs. Clayton, and cutting Nichols and
Okay, so next is the book fair, and the sign-ups up for that. So we may want to push sign-ups for that.
is it an email?
Yeah,
Did you put that in the email, or was it just?
it wasn't in the one she sent
It
yesterday.
wasn't. I don't know if I found that. Is it on the website?
It is, if
Okay.
you just go to the homepage, the news, yeah. Okay, and then the fun, oh, we don't have Kristen here for the fun run. Okay, we'll skip
You wanna do
the,
carnival?
we'll,
Is she coming back?
yeah, so Kristen and Karen left to give a surprise to the kids. They're getting popsicles today since we made the first milestone, which is the 2K. So that's what they're doing right now.
Nice.
So we'll come back to that. The carnival so the carnival, we changed the system this year. So we're having have samples. So instead of tickets, they'll be able to buy a $10 game card that lets them play 15 games. And then there's a 5-punch $5 card for Cakewalk and Haunted House. And so we're trying to simplify things. So when they do the Cakewalk or Haunted House, it just gets punched. They can be used 5 times. Then the game card, they go play the game and it gets stamped. And then so when they fill each row, then they go to the prize store and turn it in for their prizes so that they get to choose. And so they could get a one row prize or fill out the whole card, get a 5-row prize, which is worth more.
So they're not getting prizes at the individual games?
No.
Okay.
I hope they don't lose that.
Well, I mean, before they had tickets, it's the
Okay,
same thing,
okay.
right?
I just have to run a.
Oh, okay.
Catch you, but I just wanted to ask one question. My only question about that was, are we prepared? So last year we kept running out of tickets. So, people were regrouping. So are we gonna have enough of those ran off that?
Yeah, I'm gonna print them. I figured out how much we need.
Okay, good. Okay, I'll be right back.
So, okay, so it's like when you go to Chuck E. Cheese, right? You play the games and then you get to go and redeem prizes. And so,
Might be a good idea to put their name
maybe.
Somebody with fewer pens, they could do it if they want.
Yeah. So there'll be a prize store in the cafeteria where they can see the prizes and go and redeem their cards for the prizes. So we're trying to get away from just throw away little prizes and to really get something they'll want to keep. What's that? Okay. Yeah, and so then we have a few prizes if the first kids who fill out 2 cards, if they want, will have some really nice prizes like a Lego set, And I even have books as prizes. So there's a real variety to appeal to kids.
So I have a question about that. So the only options then are the card sets. They can't come back with like 50 cents and get.
No.
Okay, so you have to buy a card or not
Yep.
at all.
Yep. And so like a family could share if they have more than one kid, right?
Right,
They
okay.
could,
Okay.
yeah, but we just simplified it. Any questions? So I'm trying to get the word out about those changes, and the other thing, the food service SFE has agreed to do the concessions for the carnival, and so I'm meeting with him tomorrow to talk about what we want him to sell, and he's agreed to donate 10% of his sales to us. So right now I'm planning on pizza, nachos, and hot dogs. That seem like a general carnival food.
Any other suggestions?
And they'll do the drinks too. So, and then we'll still also have cotton candy and the kettle corn lady. So there's.
Will they be able to buy the popcorn and the kettle corn, or will they have to use their card?
It's just money.
Okay.
No,
Wasn't sure.
yeah.
And the cotton and kettle corn are given money, 10% of their sales, or?
The kettle corn, she's gonna do, we agreed to 5% for her.
I don't argue with Coach Black anymore because he raises hardly any money. So
So
cotton candy, we generally don't get a cut of that, although we have in the past, and
well, and it goes to his PE
it goes to his
programs,
PE program,
right?
even though it's at another school,
Yeah.
we just kind of let it go.
It's going to a school.
Because his
Yeah.
PTA isn't as generous to his PE programs, I guess. PTO.
So that's kind of where we're at with the carnival.
I just wanted to point out, I got the sign up sheet on here. There's a lot of stuff open. The ticket booths are filling up. Thank you. And a lot of people have signed up to bring cakes, but we still don't have a lot of the game booths filled. Like most of them are not. Except for the one that our Cub Scouts have signed up to take. The game booths are all mostly open, so we need to start.
So we'll have to push that,
In
this,
the past, you've had some high school students, haven't you?
Yes, and there'll be Key Club and Honor Society kids there. Maybe Anime Club, I don't know. There will be teenagers there, but usually they don't fill all the booths. There's quite a few parents, and they fill in where there aren't people. They fill in gaps in the haunted house. So.
There's not a lot of people signed up for the book fair. Or, well, I don't know, I'm sorry. In general, there's not a lot of people. I don't know
Yeah.
about that evening. I didn't look at that.
oh, yeah, so it's a lot because we have 3 things for people to sign up for all at once.
Yeah.
Is it a new sign-up system that you're using this year?
It's the same as last
It's the
year,
same as
Sign Up
last year.
Genius.
Okay.
Yeah, it was emailed out from Miss Jennifer Guy
Yeah, I
last
got
night.
it, and I did sign up, but I gave myself a new account. Maybe I still had an account from last year, but I think generally things where you have to have an account to sign up for.
But in Sign Up Genius, you don't have to have an account. You just have to you really only have to put your email address in
Oh, really?
into the slot
Oh,
and your name.
Oh, you put your email address. I signed up for an account. Maybe I
So
did it
you don't
different last year.
necessarily have to have an account.
That's how I would do it. I would get all confused. What did I do last year? Maybe I have to redo it.
Yeah.
That's,
I think
You only
I
need
just
an
think-
account if you're gonna be making the
Oh.
sheets or editing them,
Okay.
so to just
Well, I
sign up,
couldn't
you
figure
don't.
it out. but-
Okay, so
which is
next
not,
time.
which is also a variable. If someone gets
It
confused,
is because.
it
when
gets
I
them
went,
like, I don't have time for
I
this
have
right
to make
now.
an account,
I'll do it
but,
later.
yeah.
So we have to make sure that we,
Out.
yeah, just like if it's difficult, then you're not doing it right.
Yeah, you should.
In a nicer way.
Okay, so
I have to
when,
log out of my account.
so I'll ask Jennifer when she sends the book fair sign up announcement to clarify, Sign Up Genius, you don't need to make an account.
Yeah, that'd
Just
be good.
enter your email. Okay. Okay,
What about silent auction?
oh, Chase,
Okay.
do you want to say anything about silent auction?
We've gotten a few things thus far, cash and a few things for the baskets. I delivered letters last week to 29 businesses and starting to get calls back for donations that they're offering. So I think it's just kind of getting going, but I would imagine it'll be quite a bit this week.
You did also send out the theme baskets for each of the class you
Yes.
signed, which I think was wonderful.
Yes, I did. I do need, if anybody has that they want to get rid of or knows where they're cheap, we'll need to start getting actual baskets. Somebody offered a basket this morning, and I'm like, yes, that is a fabulous idea. She just had an extra one. So just be brainstorming about that. Yeah.
Last year I got some at Target that were like plastic, like orange and black Halloween decorations.
Okay.
And they were like $2.50. They were in that front section.
Okay. And I've got some stuff that people have donated just small, and they're themed, and I'm trying to look for Halloween totes or
The
things you
dollar
go trick
store
or treating
too
in.
has lots of variety of different things.
Okay.
The actual, what's it called?
The Dollar Tree.
Tree.
Dollar General.
No, Dollar Tree.
Okay.
That's in
By Trader Joe's.
Yeah.
by Trader Joe's?
Okay.
I'm like in Santa Fe.
Yeah.
Okay. And of course, I figure once I figure out what we have and what we need, obviously we'll kind of alter what size thing it needs to go in.
So I'm a bit confused as a teacher. Do we make our basket or we just bring you all the stuff that
You
goes
just
in?
bring it to the office, and then I'm picking up daily. So you can bring anything that's brought in, item or cash, and I'll make them. I mean, I'll have help, but we'll put them together.
Okay. I was gonna help you then.
You can help. Well, I figured what I'll do is once I have everything in.
Well, if you want to, yeah, totally.
I'll send out an email saying, hey, we're gonna do this afternoon if anybody wants to come.
Okay.
My fingers are getting sensation.
Or both.
Oh, I have to go back a little bit, cut
Yes.
some more.
Yes, and the email had like, for instance, I don't remember now, kindergarten maybe was
Frostbite.
doing a pet lovers, some other things.
There's a car one, there's a spa one.
And I meant to do a wrapping paper one.
Oh, that would be
I know. I'll have to do that for next year.
You can always add it on and just say office one, wrapping paper.
As teachers too, we've always given, like, come and have lunch with Mrs. Clayton with 3 friends. or
Yes,
something.
I got an email from you.
And so we can do that.
Just let me know.
We can talk about it at staff meeting tomorrow, just encourage teachers to do that.
Yeah, and what would be great is that could just be typed up on just a.
We just
Some sort
give
of
you
piece of
little
paper.
certificate for next year.
Or play basketball with one of the teachers.
Yeah, that's what we do.
I mean, seriously, I think that would encourage some of the boys, older
Well,
sixth
There was
graders.
a lot of
Go ski.
Tony gave away
That's
ski
what Tony did.
lessons, like,
A couple of
Snowboarding.
and those brought in a lot. And the singing at lunch brought in a lot.
I was gonna ask you before.
And some of the teachers did like dinners, like at restaurants. Those brought in a lot.
Oh, you mean the teacher would go to dinner
Well,
with us?
Mrs. Guy and Jen Schmier did.
How fun. That's wonderful. Yeah.
Yeah, so we put in, so that's what I was gonna ask you, is which ones made you money, and so, but I'll get with.
Well, all of them did because they didn't cost
They didn't
anything. So,
So I was
but,
trying to
like-
think of- oh, also I took a group to the movie. I took a group to dinner. I made Jen go with me just to go to adults, and then we did the Rockstar Day. And they said,
wasn't there
"Well,
one like they won like a lunch or like they
Oh,
had a
yeah, that's
fancy
right. We
table?
fed a group lunch. So those I did out of that was kind of my donation to PTA. I did those out of my pocket. So like we did, Lunch Hero or something, but we fed the whole class lunch.
But then
You
like
need to
there's
do
like
cheaper things that don't cost you.
I think honestly, basketball
Well, besides
against
sewing
Mr.
lessons-
Smith might be actually something
Yeah, I was
pretty
gonna say, they
cool.
outdid those two.
I think-
Yeah.
I mean, I really do. The 5th, 6th grade boys or even girls are like, oh, I want to beat Mr. Smith or team up. I think that'd be kind of, or kickball or
well,
ultimate
like
frisbee,
teachers
something.
did like sewing lessons and just lunch in the classroom. I mean,
Mama
there's
shaped
lots of different things.
I remember Donna did the eyeball.
She did the eyeball
or
thing.
something. Yeah.
Oh,
So I
yeah.
think that they all have kind of, I think they've been thinking about it. And they
Yeah,
must have
eyeball.
Okay, is that it for the auction? Okay, so, also in October is parent-teacher conferences at the end of the month. So I do have a list of people interested in, the conference lunches helping out. Julie, do you think we need to have a chair still, or you think we just throw up, do we
I
want
think
to?
it's Like, I already have the sign-up sheet, so we
Okay.
just have to change a date and send it out. So I don't think it needs a chair.
He
Okay.
does
But people will
someone
need to sign
come in
up.
and set it up and clean it up.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
So
So
ask for
before, like,
somebody,
officers had taken turns doing that, but if
Uh-huh.
somebody wanted to be
set
in
up,
charge of paper goods, that'd be
set
great.
up, clean up. Okay. Okay,
Is that the
um,
last week of
it's the last, yeah,
like Halloween weekend?
yep, yep.
Okay, well, you guys are crazy doing
I'll be
that.
coming in costume.
Oh, I didn't think about it that way.
Okay, so new business, we have the approval of the bylaws, and we were gonna project that. I'm not sure if we can do that with Kristen's laptop when she's not here. Yeah, I was going to. We're running out of time.
So I wonder if we add setup cleanup, if we just put it on the sign-up sheet.
Yeah,
Don't you think?
Oh,
it might be better just to know you have somebody in charge of it.
And the construction.
You can do it either way though,
we
yeah.
could still
That
add
way-
a spot though,
Yeah.
in case someone will sign up.
Okay, so if someone signs up, then we'll just say, could you be in charge also?
So perhaps
Just make sure they show up, whatever time they need to show up and what they need to do.
Oh, yeah.
There, as long as
Yeah.
that's clear, probably someone would show up.
Well, I could email the volunteer list first and say, it's coming up, is someone interested in?
Okay,
Is her,
I think they're getting Kristen.
oh, okay, did we have any grant requests?
I don't know, that would
That's
be
also
Kristen. We're lost without her.
Okay, so while we're waiting for Kristen, I'll just mention number 5, the next meeting. So next week on Wednesday night, we have the evening PTA meeting. And we're gonna open up the book fair during the evening, 5:30 to 7, and then we'll, at the same time, have our meeting, from 6 to 7. And we might have food tasting from the food service company, maybe.
So I talked to him twice last night and then this morning.
Oh,
I
okay.
clarified from, I just wanted to be sure, and, we're streaming, that they understood that we weren't, that this was at their cost, we wanted them to provide tasting as an advertising opportunity for them. But that we weren't, that you guys weren't planning to pay them for, say, 15 minutes, and that's what I wanted to clarify.
Okay,
And he said this morning, that was, yes, they were aware of that,
okay,
they still wanted to proceed. He's going to talk to us today about potential food items that they would bring for that kind of event. So
okay.
we'll see. He's on his phone.
Oh, so you're meeting with him?
No, you're meeting with him tomorrow.
Yeah,
I moved my meeting with him to the same time.
okay, okay.
That way we're all in the same room together.
Do, bylaws real quick.
What was the numbers?
Okay, so we have to renew our bylaws every 3 years. And so the New Mexico PTA gives us, basically gives us a template. And so we just fill in a few details. And so a lot of the things are required by them, so there's not much to change, but we wanted to approve with you guys 305. It's around line 305. So they had something about having 2 officers sign checks, and so we just clarified that for our practice. And so what we put in was have checks or vouchers signed by 2 officers if the check is to one of those officers, so that someone's not writing a check to themselves. And if there is more than one signing officer. So like this summer, when Abe was already off the board and it was just Kristen, she had to sign. There was no second officer to sign with her because the process with LAMB to add me they required a lot of paperwork, and so it couldn't be completed till September or August, till August.
It took a while.
So we said if there's more than one officer, then there should be 2 signers if the check is to one of them. if it's to someone else, a PTA member or teacher, it's okay to just have one signature. Does that make sense?
And just for expedience sake.
Yeah.
Expediency's sake, you get your money faster if it's just me signing.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, so and then another place was 235. Around there. So it's about membership. There's a place to say how long you had to be a member before you could make a motion or vote, things like that at a meeting. And so in the past, the default was 15 days. And we thought, no, we don't care. If you're a member, we want you to be able to participate. So we made it 0 days. Okay. And I think that was it. Those were the two things. So does anybody have any questions? Okay, so then is there a motion to approve the bylaws?
I move that we approve the bylaws revised as described by Jane.
I second it. Thank you.
Okay, great. And then Kristen,
Is everybody?
oh, I'm sorry.
All those in favor?
All those in favor? Okay, any opposed? No. Okay,
All right.
the motion has passed. Okay, Kristen, do you want to go back and say anything about the fun run?
So Fun Run is chugging along. We're passing out the first of the incentives that we have. We kind of designed an incentive structure so it benefits all the kids from the school, not just individuals this year. So the first milestone was $2,000. We've raised $2,900, and they got popsicles. So the next thing is going to be $5,000, and we're going to do the recess at $5,000 because you want to have the recess scheduled for a certain day and time. It's probably easier to do it at $5,000 than it is at some of the higher numbers. Okay. And then $8,000, we're going to do the costumes. $10,000 is the free homework pass. $15,000 is Mr. Favorite's fire eating show for the kids. And then we had something for $17,000, but it's slipping my mind at the moment. And then $20,000 is the dance party with Tony. So those are the incentives and the structures that we're kind of doing. The costumes are one of them, and I can't remember which one it is. But those are the school-wide incentives. So that way, kids are being singled out for contributing or not contributing. Just kind of trying to make it.
And
nice.
parents don't
Thank
have
your
to do
husband
multiple checks.
choosing to read fire for us.
I have a question. So does this money all have to come in by next Friday?
No,
or-
it doesn't. It does. And so we were guessing that the $20,000 probably won't happen until after the fun run.
Okay.
Which is typically what has happened in the past.
Okay,
And so
great.
we'll still reward them if they do it. We're just trying to encourage them to do it sooner rather than later. So.
Can you add to the website, if people want to mail checks instead of doing PayPal, a place where they should send checks and write them out to?
Okay, yes. I can
Because that's not on there.
Not on the website.
It's not on the website. It was in the letter that you sent
Yeah.
us, but I
Right.
didn't send that letter to my family. I just emailed them the link to the website.
Okay.
So they could donate.
Great.
And most
Okay.
have, but now I've got a couple of older members of the family who don't get PayPal.
Okay,
And so they just want to send checks.
that's fine. I can do
Okay.
that as soon as we leave here. Okay, so yeah, that, go ahead.
And just a quick question. So I have to know if facilities are emailing me that right now, and they want to know how many days we want to block the gym for the Halloween Carnival. So last year we blocked it Thursday evening, so that nobody else rented. We have to rent from ourselves. So last year we blocked it Thursday evening because it's basketball. I mean, we're volleyball. It's some kind of season. Friday the whole day and Saturday until noon. Is that about what you want for setup? What do you guys need for setup cleanup?
So just the haunted house thing, right, is early.
Yeah. Friday and Saturday for sure. I don't know about Thursday evening. It probably is safer to do that.
I'll just leave it. That's what I originally.
Yeah, I think it's safer to do that.
I'll just leave
Add that to the list.
I just wasn't sure if you built the haunted house.
Rent from facilities.
I don't know how they're doing it. Did they do the haunted house Thursday night? Is that what they were doing?
I don't know what Abe's planning to do, but in the past, like, we just worked it out with Mr. Hinojosa, and he did it during the, like last year, they did it during the school day or towards the end of the school day, but they only brought stuff, like they left it out back and brought it in onto the stage, and they weren't actually in the gym until maybe Thursday night.
I just reserved it, then if we change our
Yeah.
minds, we can release it. But
Is
that
there
way-
a cost for that? Okay.
No, but we just have to get it on the district calendar and rent it for ourselves so that they don't like let the basketball team schedule practice or anything.
Okay.
And then
Sounds good.
coordinate with the Y,
I
For
already,
Friday.
I already.
Oh,
moved on Friday.
because they'll be there all day because there's no school, right?
I
Oh,
moved-
no, wait, not that day, there is school that
There's
day,
school that
I'm
day.
confused.
But I moved up to the music room already.
Yeah,
Okay.
The educational grant got talked about?
No,
Okay.
we didn't know if there were any grants.
So there's the one grant for the DVD VCR combo.
We talked about that a great deal, so I wasn't sure what the original grant was written for. That's what they decided they needed.
Okay, so
So they did test out all the ones that we had around. We actually had 3 teachers that wanted one. We did move one to the other room. We're talking to Maryland. We're going to explore though also the cost. So they do have that need.
Okay.
Kind of understand where it came from now.
So
For just 2.
we can vote on it and then, all right, so the grant request for 2 DVD VCR combos, and I think it was for
$369, right?
It was just under the amount, so they.
Yeah, if they would have asked for 3, it would have been an additional one. And dun, da, 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 $320. Close. So,
So are there any questions about that?
I think they've been addressed. so-
Okay, so I'll
So we're
entertain,
replacing broken ones, basically.
Well, Miss Brown wants one and I want one. She doesn't have one and mine is on its way out.
Okay.
But
Yeah, I'm fine with it. Let's move to get it going.
is there a motion?
should I make a motion?
Yeah.
Okay, so I move that we approve the grant request for 2 DVD VCR combos for $320.
I second it.
Okay, all in favor? Okay, any opposed? Okay, the motion has passed.
So just submit your receipts.
Okay, I think that's it. Is there anything else?
Just the meeting next week, right?
Yeah, I
So-
said that earlier.
Did you-
Yes, please.
oh no, okay, that is next week, October 14th?
Yeah, so we're trying to do an evening meeting for
Okay.
the.
I was not realizing it was going that fast.
Yeah, we only have two weeks left.
A fun run, carnival, meetings, and other things.
And less than a week
Book
to the
fair.
book fair. Well, no,
And-
I guess it's a week. It's a week.
Book fair's week from tomorrow.
Yeah. So,
And it's a scanner.
Yeah, she has, her whole library changes.
I'll send an email for the book fair right now.
Wait.
Is in charge of that?
Don't send it yet.
Don't send it yet, okay.
Because we talked about, we wanted to explain to people how to use Sign Up Genius.
So
Miss
and I
Favorite
just
brought
looked
up
Well, I
that
just
it
looked
was-
it up, and it basically just says, you click the box that says, I do not have a Sign Up Genius account, and you just put in your name and email, and you don't have to start an account.
I think just pointing that out.
Yeah,
Yeah.
just pointing that out because Miss Favor got confused and she thought that maybe others might
She
get
thought she
confused.
had to create an
You do not
account.
need to, you can, yeah.
she read the directions. I didn't and it's quite clear. You just hit the button.
Yeah, if
But I
you
don't
want me
read
to,
directions.
basically, there's just a button that says, I do not have a Sign Up Genius account, and then it asks for your name, your last name, and your email address. You fill that out, and you said, sign up now. And you don't.
So we wanted to just clarify for all our signups, the book fair, the carnival, and what's the other one?
In the food too.
Teacher lunches.
Teacher lunch.
Teacher lunches.
Just wanted me to just compose a.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we'll just draft
You want me to
something.
do that?
Oh, sure.
Me and I will.
Karen will get it to you.
I'll do it.
Just whatever you want in it. And I'll send it
That's
out.
the library one, for all of them.
Yeah, so
Who
she,
has the link to the library. Oh,
I do. It's
Yeah,
not,
you sent it, somebody sent it to me. I have it too. Okay.
okay. So I think the meeting is adjourned. A few minutes early.
Thank you. And we had distributed 440 popsicles during the meeting. How fun is that?